Well, this is uber efficient. You can blast out 1 million emails in a second. But again, there's spam filters, there's junk boxes, there's a delete button. They're not going to see it more than likely. So it's not going to be very effective. So what we tell you to do is to go out there and actually just pick up the phone. Just go old school. Call these people up. And you're not going to go out there and convince these people on this conversation as talking to them in an hour-long conversation to work with you. That's not the goal here. You're actually going to go out there and just call them, and in 2 to 5 minutes is all you want to talk to them. Have you ever talked to somebody before and they call you up and every time they talk to you they want to talk for half an hour or an hour or whatever else, and you've got all this stuff you got to do and you're just sitting there like, oh my goodness, and then the next day you see their phone come up on caller ID? Man, this is going to be painful. I'm not even going to answer it. Right? That's the same thing these realtors will do if you sit there and wear them out. So multiple concise contacts that I'll talk about in a second. There's a script in your handouts that if you're not a cold call kind of person, you don't want to call people up and you're nervous doing that kind of a thing, use the script that's in there. And alter it to your personality, however you want to use it. Go out there, break this up. Don't try to find everybody in one day. Make 8 to 10 phone calls, let's say Monday through Friday. And just kind of break this up a little bit and kind of keep track of it as you go. Now when you call these people up, there's some principles of the first contact that you need to keep in mind. You need to be persistent. As I mentioned, you're going to have to make a ton of phone calls to find the right people. Now, you're going to go out there, you're going to make mistakes, you'll say something crazy, they'll say something stupid, they'll piss you off, you'll piss them off, whatever. Hang up. There's 140,000 realtors out there. Don't worry about it. Don't stress the little things. You're going to find plenty of people to work with. If you call somebody up and they say, you know what, I don't understand that whole investment strategy thing, I list $1 million houses, whatever, I don't do that kind of stuff. Ask them for a referral within their office. I've never seen an office of realtors that had more than 6 or 7 people that didn't have somebody that actually specialized working with investors. That's going to save you a ton of time, just asking for that referral. Honesty. Don't go out there and act like, I'm rich, I'm a stud, I'm going to buy 50 properties. Don't do that. Be honest. Tell them that, if you're brand new at this, tell them you're brand new. I've never done a deal before. But what you want to do is you want to talk to people in groups like this, or if you come to one of our case study nights, jot down the notes from the case study. See the kind of deals that we do and tell the realtor, this is what I'm looking for. This is the kind of stuff that I'm actually going to be going out there and looking for to find. And this is the kind of stuff I need your help with. And it talks about in here that you're going to know more than probably 95% of the agents out there about this business if you go to our 2-day class, or if you hook up with some of these other mentors that are here as well. And when you're going out there and you're doing this search and you're starting out and you're building your team, you need to stay on track, stay on purpose. If you guys are brand new at this, you're not ready to go out there and start talking about deals just yet. You need to build your team first. And you need to let the realtors know that. Hey, listen, I'm not really ready to tell you all this stuff just yet, but I'm out there, I'm trying to build a team. So stay on track, don't start talking about deals and stuff like that. And again, don't use that greed as a motivator either. Now, credibility, I talked about this earlier. This is crucial because, again, we don't want them to think we're investor wannabes that are never going to pull the trigger and we're going to waste their time. They're going to they're going to waste their gas, their money, everything else. So when you go out there, use multiple concise contacts like I talked about. You're not going to convince them in an hour-long conversation that they should work with you. You need to call them up, make a promise to them that you're going to call them back, and then do so. All right? Again, use stories of deals you've done. If not, grab some stories from some other people. Now, when you do your first deal, I just said didn't I? When you do your first deal, go out there, and I want you to stand in front of the house, and I want you to take a big picture of it, with a big smile, and I want you to write the MLS number on that. And I want you to email that out to all of your realtors that you're working with and let them know, hey, look, I pulled the trigger. I'm doing this business. They are going to be much more prone to start sending you deals after that because they know you're not going to waste their time. They know there's a commission in there somewhere. All right? Now, quick response time. When they call you with the deal or they email it to you, you need to get back to them right away. And we say here 30 minutes on a single family deal, 24 hours on a multifamily deal. And Because in this business, if you talk to any of these investors, you'll find out that usually if they blast that out, somebody else may have blasted it out to somebody else as well. So, I mean, you need to get back to them right away if you want the deal. And even if you don't want the deal, you want to get back to them right away, because you may be their number one go-to person. But if you let them know immediately that, okay, you know what, I've got 3 other projects going on right now, I can't take on another property, they can blast that out to their secondary people, and they can actually go out there and maybe double-side a deal. All right? So they're going to make more money because you told them, listen, I can't do it. So yes or no, let them know right away. Again, multifamily, there's a lot of due diligence to be done, but at least let them know your intent that you're interested in the property within about 24 hours. Okay? Now here's the script. Again, it's in your handout. And basically you're going to go out there and you're just going to tell them, hey, listen, my name is such and such. I'm a local investor. I'm out there looking for some properties. In the next couple of months, I want to buy some. And I'm looking for some profitable deals. I'm looking for a listing agent who can actually send me their listings. I'm not looking for somebody that's just going to patrol the MLS and send me everything that's out there. All right? That's not what I'm interested in. Are you a true listing agent? And if so, can I call you back? If they're a good salesperson, you're going to find somebody that's willing to work with you. They're going to say, okay, yeah, that's fine. I'll work with you. And they're going to try to take over the conversation at this point, which is not a bad thing. That's actually a good thing. You want a sales type person. And they're going to start saying, okay, how much money do you have to invest? What area do you want to invest in? If you're somebody that's new at this, put them off for now. Because again, you're not ready to start talking about deals. Just let them know, I'm not quite ready yet. I'm working with Lifestyles Unlimited over the next 30 to 60 days. I'm going to go out there and I'll actually be they'll be mentoring me and teaching me how to do this, or if you're working with somebody else, then you can call them back and say, is it still okay if I call you back? Now, is there anybody in here that's in sales? Internet sales, car sales, real estate sales, any kind of sales whatsoever? If somebody calls you up or comes by wherever your office is and they see your product and they go, you know what, I love your product. I'm going to be back in 30 days and I'll talk to you then, I'll buy it then. Yeah, exactly. Are they coming back? No. It's what we call a be back in sales. They'll say, I'm going to be back. There are no be backs. Once they walk out, they're gone. But when you tell this realtor that you're going to call them back in 30 days, and you call them back in 30 days as promised, that is a huge credibility spike for you, because that just does not happen. All right? So that's another way you can go out and build credibility as well. Now, in your handouts as well, there's a sample agent contact sheet. Now, this contact sheet is where you can just write down the agent, and you can write down all of the properties they've been sending you. And you need to keep track of these because you need to find out, does this person really get it? Do they understand the kind of deals that I'm looking for? If there's somebody that's sending you a couple of $1 million houses and a $650,000 house, unless that happens to be your niche, that's at Lifestyles, it's not really our niche. You're looking for the properties that are going to be between, maybe $60,000 to $120,000. They're going to be 1,500 to 1,800 square feet. They're going to be 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage. That's kind of our bread and butter kind of a deal. If they're sending you that kind of stuff, there's somebody you want to keep on the team. But if there's somebody that's sending you that other stuff that we're not interested in, you want to track that as well and cut them off the team and put somebody else in their place. Okay? So make as many copies as you guys want of that and go out there and track your agents. If you go out to Realtor.com, they just recently changed their page, but there's a tab out there that says Find Realtors. Click on that, then it's going to pull up the little box right up top, put in your city and state, and just click Find Realtors. It's going to pull up a whole slew of people. Like, for instance, I usually go out to like Garland, and I'll pull up, I think there's like 657 realtors out there that I found earlier. You want to scroll through and click on these people's offices or click on their names. Go through and look at their listings. First of all, if they don't have any listings, we don't call them, right? They're not a listing agent. If they do have multiple listings, scroll through there and look at what type of listings they have. Do they have $1 million properties? Do they have the $100,000 properties that we're looking for? And are they in the right area? Are they 3-bed, 2-bath? That kind of thing. So go through and find those different types of properties. Don't click on the property, pull it up, and start scrolling through and looking at all the cool stuff and I can rehab that, I can fix that, I can do this and do that. We're not there yet. All right? We're still in team building mode. So stay on track. We're just looking for realtors at this point. Even when you call them up, don't start talking about the details of the property. Just again tell them, I'm looking to build my team. Can you help me out? All right? Now, we went through and talked about several things. We talked about the fact you're going to have 20 real estate agents out there working for you. And we talked about the fact also that we need to understand the different types of agents. And which one do we want to work with? Listing agents. Now, you may want, I'd say, 1 or 2 actual buyer's agents. Excuse me, that's strong stuff. I think they put vodka in my water bottle. Now, you want 1 or 2 buyer's agents maybe, because you want somebody to do a search for you every once in a while and figure out everything that's out there. And maybe kind of give you a feel for what different neighborhoods are doing, what's going up, what's going down, what's being sold, what's sitting, stuff like that. So, but for the most part, you want listing agents. And the principles of contact: be persistent. You're going to make a ton of phone calls. You're going to make a lot of contacts. It's going to take a while to find the right people to put on your team. So just be persistent with it. Be honest. Again, do not act like something you're not. I actually went through that. I actually tried to, puff up and act like I was something I was not before when I was first starting out. And people that are really doing deals, people that are really in this business and know what they're doing, they see right through it. All right? So go out there. Keep your ego in check. Go out there, be honest. Just tell them, listen, I'm brand new. Can you help me out? And you're going to find in this community, as I mentioned before and as Tim mentioned before, it's amazing how many people out there will share their so-called secrets in this business. These people will take you by the hand and walk you through deals many times. Many of these people that are in this group right now, these vendors that are out here right now, they helped me when I first got started out in Dallas. They would actually put me in the car, drive me around to these different properties with them, and they would tell me, okay, I'm going to buy this one, but I'm not going to buy that one, and here's why. And they would teach me all the different stuff they were doing. And when I first came here to Dallas, I knew nothing about foundations. They terrified me. Because I'm from Illinois. We have basements. We don't have the issues you guys have down here with foundations. And one of the things I did, and many of you I'm sure again have read Rich Dad Poor Dad, one of the things that you know that he suggests in that book is to go out there and not take a job for the money. Only take a job for what you can learn or how you can better yourself. And when I first moved here, I actually worked for a foundation company for 7 months because they terrified me. And I wanted to learn more about them because investors kept telling me, don't worry about foundations, don't worry about it, but I didn't know anything about them and they terrified me. Once I got done working there for 6 or 7 months, and I was actually an evaluation, I'd go out and do appraisals, and now I love foundation problems because most home buyers are terrified still. And this is Texas. Your foundation either has had repair or it's going to need repair at some point. All right? Those are the only 2 types of foundation. Now, and again, that's another secret place that you can find some extra money. Because most people really overestimate the amount that it costs to go out there and do a foundation. If you use some of these vendors that are here, these rehab guys, they're probably doing piers for $200, $250, something like that. I'm not even sure what it is these days. I get a little bit better than that typically. Just again, I'm cheap and lazy. But go out there, learn as much as you can, and again, be honest and just be upfront, be forthright. People will help you. Now, with that said, do be careful who you work with. Do be careful who you talk to. Make sure that you get references from other people. Make sure that you follow your gut, because I have been swindled. I have been taken for a ride before. I went out and bought an 8-plex when I first got into multifamily, because this was before I had come to Lifestyles. I went out there and I thought, you know what, I've been doing single family flips and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to get in the cash flow game. I'm going to go out and buy some apartments. I bought an 8-plex that I paid twice as much for it as what it was worth. And I didn't do any of the due diligence because I didn't understand that whole part of the game yet. And that was one of the things actually that brought me to Lifestyles Unlimited, because I went there for an intervention. Because, yeah, I'm serious. Because I heard these guys on the radio talking about these multifamily deals and cash flow and all this great stuff, and they're having a blast, and I'm pulling my hair out, and you can see that. But it was a nightmare. I mean, I went through a period of time in my life where it was not pretty because I got swindled. I got taken for a ride. So again, find the right people, network with these people, talk to the folks that are here, find out, what kind of deals does this guy do? What kind of person is he? What kind of, et cetera. And again, this community you'll find will take care of you if you just go out and do it right. I unfortunately went outside and just did something stupid. Now, 3 points of credibility. We need to, again, multiple concise contacts. Don't do the hour-long phone call. They're never going to call you back. Call them back when you tell them you're going to call them back. It's going to blow their mind. Trust me. Success stories, use your own success stories or take somebody else's deals and tell them this is what I'm looking for. Quick response time, get back to them in 30 minutes or less. We actually teach our members at Lifestyles Unlimited how to evaluate a deal in 10 or 15 minutes. It's not rocket science, folks. And this is one of the pieces that I see that a lot of people don't get from books, CDs, and tapes. A lot of people go out there and they get stuck in that analysis paralysis, and they don't want to pull the trigger on a deal.